Hey everybody, welcome to Everyday Reviews. We're here in beautiful Carlsbad, California. This white beauty behind me, this is the Toyota Prius Prime. We've been waiting to drive this one for so long, and I'm telling you, this could be the ultimate hybrid. All right, we are inside the new Prius Prime. Before we tell you all about all the goodies in this brand new plug-in, we have reset the odometer to 0. We're showing 36 miles of range right now. We're almost full, but this new plug-in has an increased range of EV driving only quite a bit. It is rated at 44 miles now. That's 72 kilometers of EV only driving. So we are going to go on a fairly long drive. We're going to drain that battery, see when that gas engine kicks on, if it kicks on at all, and give you our impressions. Let's go. Okay, one of my favorite things about the Toyota plug-in hybrid systems, like on the RAV4 Prime, is that whatever range they give you, you could pretty well count on driving those EV miles or kilometers straight in EV only. You see, for short trips, for what we do as a family, it's perfect because you don't want that gas engine kicking on. And when you get a PHEV, a Toyota one, it really is like you're driving an electric vehicle until that range runs out. But even after that range runs out, you still drive a very thrifty hybrid vehicle. So let's talk about what's powering this. It's so much improved. Everything is so much bigger, more range, more everything. So you have a 2-liter 4-cylinder underneath that hood, and that puts out 150 horsepower. Then you get a larger 161 horsepower electric motor, combined 220 horsepower for this Prius Prime. It'll make a run from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 6.8 seconds. That's 0 to 62 miles an hour. Yes, that doesn't sound really impressive, but you have to remember, this is a Prius that you're talking about, right? So it's really good. We're off the line right now. I'm just at a light, just took off. We're doing 50 miles per hour right now, and gas engine doesn't kick on. It's a beautiful thing. This also uses a heat pump, which is really great for us Canadians when it gets a little cooler out and you're using the heat. It's not going to rely on that gasoline engine at all. So technically, depending on where you live, if it's not too cold, because the heat pump kind of doesn't work below -7, it's not effective anymore. But just think of this. You don't live in a super cold climate. You have 72 kilometers of range. And if you don't drive more than 72K a day, you'll never ever have to touch the gasoline at all. And that's a big bonus. Now, if you're wondering, oh no, you know, how about for maintenance wise and everything? They have a timer set on in this vehicle. And I was told that if you don't use that gas engine or your gasoline in 6 months, it'll automatically go and cycle and put the gas engine into a maintenance type of cycle. But 6 months, you could run this purely just on EV, yet don't have to worry about range. If you run out of your electricity, you can just keep on driving with gas. So there really are no compromises. That's why I love PHEVs, and for most people this works. You could live in an apartment, you know, you could live in a basement suite where you don't have access to charge a full battery electric vehicle. PHEVs, you know what, you plug them into your regular household outlet overnight, it's charged, you have all that range. If you want to do level 2 charging, it's going to take you about 4 hours, but you don't really need it. That's the beauty of it. Hopefully we'll run out of our electricity so we can check out what the economy is like in just straight hybrid only, but it is rated at just 4.5 liters per 100K in regular hybrid mode. So you really do get the benefits of both worlds. You get a thrifty vehicle regardless if you have it charged up or not. Let's talk about the interior a little bit right now. You have a 7-inch multi-information display. They've set it in a position, even though you feel like the top of your steering wheel is blocking it, there is nothing that it's blocking. Set it quite high, so it's almost doubles as a head-up display. You really don't have to take your eyes off the road at all to see what's on that screen. It's very sunny right now. I've got sunglasses on even, and I can still see the display very well. In the center, we have our infotainment system. This has the upgraded 12-inch display here. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, both wireless. That comes standard on this vehicle. You also, all Prius Primes come standard with heated front seats and a heated steering wheel. If you go into the top trim, you actually get ventilated front seats and you get heated rear seats as well. Super loaded. Also, you can see this has a split sunroof here, so you got light for the front and the back passengers. It's really hard to even compare this new Prius Prime to the older Prius Prime. They're just so different. Starting, you know, we mentioned you're on a different platform, the TNGA-C platform. It has, it's stiffer. It has stiffer strut towers for suspension. It's 50 pounds lighter even though you're adding all this additional strength and rigidity, it's lighter. Then you get the battery. Well, how do you get more range? Well, you have, they've changed the system from a 600 to 650 watt system now. You have a larger battery. It went from 8 to 13 kilowatt hours. They've been able to position the battery different on this new platform, so the battery is further forward, which allowed them to adjust the fuel tank, and in the result, you get more room for the rear seat passengers. So it's a win-win right there as well. Now, speaking of range, though, one thing to note, that we mentioned 72 kilometers. However, if you do get the XSE trim like we're driving right now, that brings it down to 64 kilometers. So you lose a little bit of range, and that's due to the wheels. Just like EVs, when you go to a larger wheel, not only are you creating more drag aerodynamically, but you're carrying more unsprung weight as well for the tire and the wheel. And so you do get a little bit less, but they do look good. All depends. If you want to get the most range, go for the non-XSE trims for sure. Man, these roads are beautiful here in the Carlsbad-San Diego area. They really are. So right now we're showing, we're gonna go back in kilometers here. I'll put a conversion down there. 36 kilometers of range left, and we've driven 23 kilometers, so that's about right. And of course, that the gas engine has not kicked on at all. So if I even put my foot to the floor, it still didn't kick on. That's what I love about the Toyota PHEV system. Other manufacturers, please do the same. Seriously. We are now on the freeway, and we are doing 100 and something kilometers an hour, or 63 miles per hour. We're still in electric mode. We're on this really, really grooved concrete. Very, very smooth though. Very smooth. Now we've hit some smoother stuff. It's quiet in here. It really is. And this is really bad concrete. It really is. So we got up to 110 kilometers an hour, still EV mode. We have not touched a single drop of fuel. Okay, I keep on wanting to share with you when the gasoline engine kicks on, but we're going down a hill since we went all the way up, and it just keeps on regenerating more kilometers. We're back up to 3. I was down to 1 kilometer. So just stick with me for a couple minutes here, and hopefully we will get the moment the gasoline engine kicks on. Now, in other PHEVs that I've tested, including, you know, the Outlander PHEV that we have a long-term tester of, even sometimes when it's warm out, when you get close to the end of the range, sometimes it will kick on the gas engine, and this one still at 2 kilometers will not kick on. All right, we're going uphill, and it's finally showing no range at all, yet we are still in electric. And I noticed this when we drove the RAV4 Prime too. You can still get some mileage in there even when it says 0. So we are currently, we've driven 51 kilometers in EV only, and we're showing 0. Let's see the moment when it kicks in. It might still be a few kilometers until, but we are going up a hill, so we're going to demand a little bit more from it. Let's see. I might have to fast forward this. There it is. Okay. 51.2. You can hear that gasoline engine kick on now. We have hit that. So just goes to prove, once again, the Toyota plug-in hybrid system, you can drive it purely like an EV for the entire range until you don't. And now it just drives like a regular hybrid vehicle, averaging 4.5 liters per 100K. Just like all hybrids or plug-in hybrids or EVs, this does have regenerative braking. We're going down a hill right now. We let off the accelerator. You can see that we're generating power. You can feel a little bit of resistance. Now what's new with this new Prius Prime though is they've added 3 selectable regen settings. They didn't have that in the old one. And that's really nice because some people don't like a lot of regen, like myself. I like it more freewheeling and coasting, but if you do want more, you can set it how you want, or you do have your selector here. If you actually pull back into the B mode, you get the maximum regen. There are no paddle shifters on here though, but another thing I noticed between this Prime and the regular new Prius is on that one, when we test drove it, when we were going down a large hill, that regen, or there was a buzz, kind of a whine that came from the vehicle, and that is definitely not apparent in this Prime at all. Let's talk about price. These are in Canadian dollars, by the way. The base SE goes for $37,990, so under 38 grand. And in Canada, check where you live, because it may qualify for government incentives or rebates. But in Canada, this does qualify for the full $5,000 federal rebate. As well, it qualifies for additional incentives in Quebec and British Columbia. So yeah, you can save some money there for sure. And it does come quite well equipped. For that price, you get the standard heated seats and steering wheel. You get the 17-inch wheels, you get the latest Toyota Safety Sense 3.0, gives you dynamic radar cruise control, lots of other safety aids for sure, and you get the full 72 kilometers of EV range, or 44 miles. Then you go into the XSE, and that's going to bring you up into the 19-inch wheels. It's going to bring your range down a little bit, but you do get the 12-inch screen at that point. And then you have the XSE Premium. So that goes for $46,990, so just under $47,000. But remember, you can take some money off that if you're buying this in Canada. So why would you buy the regular Prius though, you think? Because if you look at the pricing, it's a kind of a no-brainer to get the Prime, isn't it? Really, especially if you get that rebate. Well, there is one thing, is because of the packaging of this vehicle, there's no room to put a rear motor in, so the Prius Prime only comes as a front-wheel drive vehicle, whereas the regular Prius is all-wheel drive. So if you live in a climate and you require all-wheel drive, then you're gonna go for the regular Prius, which is still not a bad thing. They're both very, very thrifty vehicles, so I don't think you can go wrong either way. All-wheel drive or electric-only driving, it's up to you. Being in EV mode with this new chassis, it just makes this thing just much more engaging to drive. There's a few words that have never been said when describing a Prius, is engaging and sexy. That's it for our first drive of the brand new Toyota Prius Prime. What do you think? Leave a comment below. Would you buy this Prius Prime, or what else would you buy in this class? Because there really is nothing else in this class. I was gonna say, you know what, they're best in class, but there's no other vehicle in this class. And I think this is the way that people should be buying into their vehicle. A smaller hybrid or plug-in hybrid. You use a smaller battery, get more range, and with the additional range, this really makes a big difference for most people. I'm not talking about everyone, but for most people, 72 kilometers or 44 miles is enough for your daily drive. You never have to put gas in it. It's a bonus, huge bonus. Anyways, that's it for us from Carlsbad, San Diego. Hope to see you on the next Everyday Review. Cheers.